Welcome back to the deep dive. I am so glad you were here with us today because we are about to crack open a case file that on the surface looks like your standard high school drama,
Yeah.
football games, musical numbers, hallway gossip. But when you actually peel back the layers, what we are looking at is a fascinating, almost Machiavellian study of power dynamics, betrayal, and just the absolute chaos of human connection.
It really is. We are heading back into the ecosystem of McKinley High, but we aren't just looking at the slushies and like the show choir hands.
Right.
We are zooming in on a specific, incredibly volatile week leading up to a state championship game.
Right.
And it is a week where the social hierarchy didn't just crack. I mean, it completely shattered.
We were talking about the implosion and then the subsequent very messy reconstruction of the relationship between Finn Hudson and Rachel Berry. And the mission for this deep dive is, it's pretty specific. We aren't just recapping a plot. We want to understand the mechanics of reconciliation. How do two people go from a relationship-ending betrayal, I'm talking infidelity, revenge plots, the whole 9 yards, to a forever commitment in the span of, 5 days?
And the answer isn't just love, or, at least not the fairy tale version of love. It's about leverage. It's about territory. It involves a choir room brawl, a high-stakes football crisis, and one of the most strategic uses of a kissing booth I have ever seen, in fiction or reality.
A strategic kissing booth. That is a phrase that only makes sense in this specific universe.
Totally.
But before we get to the booth, we have to understand the blast radius of where this week begins. We're looking at a stack of sources that detail the events surrounding the Need You Now performance and the championship game. So let's set the stage. Where is Finn Hudson mentally when the clock starts ticking on this week?
He is barely holding it together. I mean, if you look at the internal monologue provided in the source material, Finn is projecting this image of the stoic quarterback.
Yeah, the leader.
The leader. He's walking through the halls, head high, telling his mom, telling himself, I'm fine. I'm not messed up over Rachel. But that is a lie. It's a complete fabrication.
It's the classic I'm fine defense mechanism, which, usually means the exact opposite. He's trying to convince himself as much as anyone else.
Completely. He is under an immense amount of pressure. So externally, you've got the Titans Conference Championship on the line. That's his identity, the quarterback. That is how the school sees him, how the town sees him.
That's everything.
It is. Then he has a science test he's worried about, which just adds that layer of mundane academic stress on top of all the existential dread.
Right, the real life stuff.
But internally, he feels besieged. The language he uses in his internal thought process is incredibly telling. He calls his friends, specifically Puck and Karofsky, a-holes pretending to be friends.
Wow. That is a very specific, visceral way to view your social circle. He doesn't feel supported. He feels surrounded by traitors. He's walking into that school every day feeling like he has a target on his back.
Because in his mind, he does. You have to remember the specific nature of the conflict with Rachel. This wasn't a simple drift apart where they, realized they wanted different things.
No, this was targeted.
It was surgical. Rachel admitted to making out with Puck Finn's best friend, specifically as a revenge tactic because Finn had slept with Santana the previous year.
It's a revenge cycle. It's, you hurt me, so I'm going to use the one weapon that I know will destroy you. And for Finn, that weapon is his best friend and his girlfriend combined.
Exactly. And while Finn claims they're broken up and he doesn't care, that betrayal is festering. It's an open wound. He looks at Puck and sees a backstabber. He looks at Rachel and sees someone who weaponized his friendship against him.
So it's not just heartbreak. It's a deep, deep sense of betrayal from multiple sides.
From everyone. So when the administration forces the football team, including the bully Karofsky, who has been tormenting Kurt into the Glee Club choir room for unity, Finn isn't seeing an opportunity for bonding. He sees an invasion.
He's sitting there, watching the guys who torment him and his friends invade his safe space. The choir room is supposed to be the sanctuary, right?
That's the one place he's supposed to be safe.
And now the enemy is inside the gates. And that is the moment Mr. Shu, in a stroke of what can only be described as catastrophic timing, decides to showcase a duet.
Not just any duet. A duet between Rachel and Puck.
Oh my God. The ex-girlfriend and the best friend she cheated with, talk about reading the room or just failing to.
Completely failing to. And they're performing Need You Now.
Okay, we have to talk about this song choice. Because in the context of a deep dive, lyrics matter. This isn't just a pop song. In a musical narrative like this one, it's dialogue. It's subtext becoming text.
It's a confession. It is absolutely a confession. Look at the lyrics Finn is forced to listen to. reaching for the phone because I can't fight it anymore.
And I wonder if I ever crossed your mind. For me, it happens all the time.
I need you now. He is watching Rachel, the girl he is still in love with, despite everything, sing those words directly to Puck.
And from Finn's perspective, he doesn't have the audience's knowledge that this is just a performance or, a glee assignment. He's paranoid. He's already in the state of high alert. So he thinks, is this real? Is she telling him she needs him? Is this happening right in front of me?
It confirms his worst fear, that the Buckleberry dynastic is back, that he is the odd man out, that they're laughing at him. And you can see him physically stewing on the risers.
Yeah.
The source describes him as just vibrating with tension.
But the explosion requires a spark, and that spark is Santana Lopez.
Of course it is.
Santana is arguably the most observant character in the room. She sees the tension. She sees Finn is about to crack, and she decides to lean in.
She is an agent of chaos. I mean, pure and simple. She sees a fire, and her first instinct is to find gasoline. She leans over and whispers 3 words.
Told you so.
Told you so.
That is brutal. It's so simple, but it does
Yeah.
so much damage. It's not just an observation, it's an I told you so. It's a judgment.
It's surgical. She validates his paranoia. She makes him feel like a fool for ever trusting them. And she positions herself as the one who knew it all along. It humiliates him.
Right.
And that is the moment the dam breaks. The source describes Finn launching himself off the risers. He doesn't even walk down, he just flies. He tackles Puck.
This isn't a shove, this isn't a hey, watch it. This is a brawl. A full-on knockdown, drag-out fight in the middle of the choir room.
It's pure kinetic release of all that repressed anger. And it immediately descends into chaos. Everyone's screaming. It takes 2 teachers, Shu and Coach Bleisty, to physically pry them apart. This is violent.
And what's the immediate consequence?
Finn is sent to the showers to cool off. Bleisty specifically recommends a cold one, and Puck is sent to the nurse. The Glee football unity experiment has officially failed. Spectacularly.
I want to pause on the why here. Why did he snap then? He knew about the cheating days ago. He's been walking around with that knowledge, stewing in it. Why did the song trigger the violence?
I think it's the public nature of it. In the world of Glee, singing is intimacy, is vulnerability. It's how they express their deepest truths, right?
Yeah, it's their love language in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
okay.
seeing Rachel share that intimate, vulnerable space with the guy she used to hurt him in front of the football team, in front of the club he leads, it stripped him of his dignity. It wasn't just heartbreak anymore. It was humiliation. He felt unmanned in front of the very people he is supposed to be leading into a championship.
So he had to reclaim his dominance.
He had to. And since he couldn't do it emotionally because he's not messed up, he did it physically. It was the only language he had left in that moment.
Which brings us to the immediate fallout. Finn is sent to the showers. And this sets the stage for what I honestly think is the most complex, psychologically dense scene in this entire narrative arc. The locker room confrontation.
Oh, it is the pivot point for the whole week.
Yeah.
Everything that happens next hinges on this scene. Rachel decides she needs to fix this. She sees the chaos she helped create, and she follows him into the boys' locker room.
Okay, let's look at the power dynamics the moment she walks in. This is crucial. Finn is in the shower. He is literally naked. He is, on paper, at his most vulnerable. Rachel is fully clothed. She is the invader in his space.
But the dynamic flips almost instantly. Finn isn't hiding in the corner, covering himself up. He's not ashamed. He's punching the walls. He is full of adrenaline and testosterone and just pure rage.
She's like a caged animal.
Exactly. And when he sees her, he doesn't cower. He attacks verbally.
Mm-hmm.
He immediately accuses her of having a sexual relationship with Puck. He says, and this is a direct quote, "You already planned to sleep with him once. Looks like maybe you finally succeeded."
He is spiraling. He needs to know the extent of the betrayal.
Yeah.
He's creating a worst-case scenario in his head and then presenting it to her as fact. And Rachel, she makes a tactical error here, doesn't she? A huge one.
A massive one. She tries to play it cool. She tries to regain control of the situation by, I think, making him feel insecure. She drops this line, "I'm a free agent." Yeah. She asks him why he cares since he broke up with her. She is trying to make him jealous, to make him admit he still wants her. She thinks if she acts desirable to others, he will fight for her.
But you don't play jealousy games with the guy who just got into a fist fight over his dignity. That is the wrong move. You're poking the bear.
Precisely. It backfires spectacularly. Instead of making him pine for her, it makes him aggressive. The scene shifts from just a verbal argument to a a territorial interrogation. Finn corners her against the lockers.
And the source material is very specific here. He's wet from the shower, he's towering over her, and he starts touching her.
And this isn't a gentle caress. This isn't romantic. The source describes him tracing lines on her body, down her torso, to her hip, down her thigh. It feels possessive, like he's mapping out territory that he considers his.
He's re-staking his claim.
It's primal. He is reasserting a claim. He is essentially asking, physically, does he touch you like this? Do you react to him the way you react to me? He is testing her physiology. He is bypassing her words, which he doesn't trust at all right now, and going straight to her physical reaction.
The source notes that Rachel is terrified but also highly aroused. That is a very complicated mix of emotions.
It's the intersection of fear and desire. High stakes create high arousal. It's a known psychological phenomenon. And Finn pushes it further than he ever has before. He touches her intimately, and we're talking about a very explicit check to see if she's aroused.
And he asks her, is that for him? It's crude, it's almost cruel. He's stripping away any pretense, any social nicety.
It cuts through all the lies. It's the one question she can't talk her way out of. Rachel can't lie with her body, and she admits it's always only for you. That is the truth he needed. That is the confirmation that despite the free agent talk, her body still belongs to him.
And here is where the deep dive analysis gets interesting. You expect a kiss here. The tension is at a boiling point. She confessed, he verified it. The script for a romance says they kiss and make up, but Finn doesn't kiss her.
No, he does the opposite.
Yeah.
He leans in, gets right in her space, whispers, good, and walks away.
That is cold. That is ice cold.
It's a power move. It is devastatingly effective. He takes the satisfaction of knowing she wants him, but he denies her the satisfaction of having him. He leaves her breathless against the lockers, confused and wanting more. In that moment, he regained all the control he lost in the quiet room.
Yeah.
He is no longer the victim. He is the one calling the shots.
But they do keep talking, right? The scene isn't over. Once he's dressed, the adrenaline fades a bit and they actually start communicating, like with words.
They do, and this is where we get to the root of the dysfunction. Finn finally admits why he lied about his virginity and the Santana encounter the previous year. He admits it wasn't about malice, it was about insecurity.
He didn't want to disappoint her.
Exactly. He says he felt rejected by her the previous year when she wasn't ready to be with him, and so he acted out of hurt. He wanted her to think he was this experienced, cool guy, not the insecure kid he actually was.
So both of them were hurting each other to protect their own egos. It's the tragedy of miscommunication. They were both running scripts in their heads that weren't true. He thought she didn't want him. She thought he didn't respect her. And just as they are about to maybe finally bridge that gap,
Coach Basie walks in.
Of course she does. The universe loves an interruption.
The resolution is deferred. But the cards are on the table now. They know where they stand physically and emotionally. The tension hasn't dissipated, it's just changed shape. They aren't back together, not by a long shot, but they are definitely entangled again.
So we have a broken couple and a broken glee club. And now the external world comes crashing down. We move to part 3, the mutiny and the replacement players.
Right, so the fragile truce between glee and football fails completely. The hockey team, sensing weakness, slushies the football team. And for someone like Karofsky, who is terrified of losing his status at the top of the food chain, this is the last straw.
He can handle being a jock, but he can't handle being a slushy jock.
Precisely. He decides that being in glee is social suicide. He quits the football team on the spot and takes all the other players with him. Except for the glee guys.
This leaves Finn, the quarterback, with no team, and the championship is days away. He's looking at an empty locker room. It's his worst nightmare.
Basie gives him an ultimatum. The remaining players, which are just the glee guys, the misfits, have to find replacements or they forfeit the championship. It's over.
And who steps up? It's not the other jocks. It's not the basketball team. It's the girls.
Rachel, Mercedes, Tina, and Lauren Zizes. They volunteer to join the football team.
I want to focus on Finn's reaction to this, because logically, he should be relieved. He has a team, he can play, but he isn't relieved at all. He's horrified.
He is terrified, specifically for Rachel. He looks at her, and the source material always emphasizes how physically small she is. And he just sees something fragile. He tells her, you'll get squished.
His protective instinct kicks into overdrive.
Completely. He can't bear the thought of her getting physically hurt for his sake. It goes against his entire code as the protector, the big, strong quarterback. He's supposed to protect her, not put her in the line of fire.
But Rachel flips the narrative again. She's so good at that. She tells him her dad's already signed the permission slip, which, side note, I love that her dads were excited about this.
Oh, me too.
And then she says something that I think is the key to their reconciliation. She says, "You need me if you want to play."
That is the ultimate gesture of loyalty. Think about the last 48 hours. He tackled her duet partner. He cornered her in a locker room. He rejected her after she confessed her feelings. He's been awful. And yet, here she is, literally putting her body on the line against 200-pound linebackers so that he can have his dream.
She is putting his dream above her own safety.
Exactly. And that forces Finn to see her differently. She isn't just the girl who cheated. She isn't just the drama queen. She is his teammate. She is the one person standing in the trenches with him when everyone else, Puck, Karofsky, his whole team has bailed.
It recontextualizes their relationship from just romance to partnership. She's not a damsel in distress. She's his reinforcement.
She's his offensive line.
So we go to the championship game, and let's be honest, the first half is a disaster. It is painful to watch.
It's a train wreck. The Titans are getting crushed. The opposing team is distracted by the girls, sure, but the Titans have no power. They're getting pushed around all over the field, and Finn is playing terribly.
Because he isn't playing quarterback, he's playing bodyguard.
He's completely distracted. Every play, you see him watching Rachel, trying to shield her from the tackles. He's hesitating on his throws. He can't lead the team because he's too busy protecting the girl. His focus is split.
Until the last play before halftime, the turning point, the Hail Mary, so to speak.
It plays out like a movie script. It's almost too perfect. There's a fumble. The ball is loose on the ground. It's chaos. Bodies everywhere. And who is the closest person to it? Rachel Berry.
And this is where the absurdity of the situation meets the reality of the stakes. Finn is pinned. He's on the ground, watching in terror. He thinks, this is it. She's going to get crushed.
But the glee training kicks in. Or maybe just pure adrenaline. Sam and Lauren Zizes, who are surprisingly effective, take out the blockers, and Rachel she scoops up the ball and runs.
She runs it into the end zone. Rachel Berry scores a touchdown in the state championship.
The shock in the stadium is palpable. Even the opposing team is confused. They don't know what to do. But look at Finn. The relief on his face isn't just about the points on the board. It's that she survived. She didn't get squished. She succeeded. And she did it on his turf.
And that success, that one moment of pure, improbable triumph, galvanizes the entire group. The cheeriest Quinn, Santana, Brittany, who are going to abandon the game for their own cheerleading competition, see this grit and decide to stay.
We get the Thriller Heads Will Roll halftime show, which is just this iconic moment of unification. It's the unification of the tribes, the jocks, the glee kids, the cheerleaders. They finally align under one banner because they saw one of their own do the impossible.
And that energy carries the second half. Finn finally gets his head in the game, leads them to victory. He's named MVP.
He gets everything he wanted.
So Finn is on top of the world. He has the trophy, he has the glory, he has the respect, but the Finchel saga isn't done. In fact, it gets more complicated. Enter Quinn Fabray.
Just when the path to Rachel seems clear, Quinn steps in to muddy the waters. She approaches Finn outside the locker room after the game, and she kisses him.
Wait, hold on. Isn't she dating Sam? Isn't she wearing his promise ring?
She is. Oh, she absolutely is. But Quinn is an opportunist in this moment. She sees Finn as the MVP, the hero of the hour. She drops this line about them having unfinished business and tells him that Sam isn't Finn Hudson. She is playing on his ego. She knows Finn loves being the hero, the leader, and she's offering him the prom king and queen fantasy all over again.
And Finn. He doesn't push her away. He lets it happen. In fact, this sparks an idea, the famous kissing booth.
This is where Finn gets a little diabolical, or maybe just strategic. On the surface, he announces this booth for Glee charity. $1 a kiss to raise money for costumes. It sounds innocent. It sounds like something the club would do.
Right, a classic Glee Club fundraiser.
But the motivation is layers deep. It's not about charity at all.
It's a trap.
It is. The source material says it was Quinn's idea to get close to him, but Finn pivots. He thinks, hey, this is a way to get Rachel to kiss me again. He wants to force a confrontation. He wants to see if she'll step up and claim him.
But Rachel sees the threat immediately. She doesn't see a fundraiser. She sees a lineup of competitors. She attacks the idea. She calls him a Lothario and a man whore. She is furious that he's selling access to himself.
And notice how Finn handles her anger this time. In the locker room, he was physical. He was aggressive. Here, he is tactical. He is calm. He uses Quinn as a weapon. He reveals that Quinn kissed him and wants him back.
He's flipping the script from the shower scene. In the shower, Rachel said, "I'm a free agent," to make him jealous. Now Finn is saying, "I have options. The head cheerleader wants me."
Exactly. He's telling her, "You wanted to play the jealousy game? Okay, let's play." He even throws her betrayal back in her face. He says, "Go find Puck. I'm sure you're lead for another duet." He's using her own weapons against her.
Ouch. That is a sharp callback. That's a low blow.
But by dangling Quinn, he forces Rachel into a corner. She can't just be the victim anymore. She can't just be angry. She has to fight for him. He has turned himself from the scorned lover into the prize to be won. He's forcing her to make a public claim on him.
Which brings us to the climax, the booth itself. The hallway's packed. Girls are lining up to kiss the MVP, and Rachel is fuming.
And it's not a coincidence that the booth is physically blocking her locker. It's a symbolic obstruction. She can't get to her things without going through him. She can't ignore him.
And Finn knows exactly which buttons to push to get her to participate. He doesn't beg, he doesn't plead. He calls her a chicken.
He attacks her pride. He challenges her identity. He knows Rachel Berry cannot stand to be called a coward. He says, "You won't pay because you know you can't handle kissing me." He's daring her to feel something.
And Rachel Berry cannot resist the challenge. She slams down that dollar. "I am a vegan, not a chicken." Which is just a perfect Rachel line.
It starts as a peck. A quick, angry kiss. She wants to kiss him quick, prove a point, and storm off. She wants to maintain the upper hand. But Finn isn't having that.
He escalates it again. He always escalates. He grabs her and pulls her over the booth wall.
He physically drags her into his space. They collapse onto the floor. And suddenly, the crowd is gone. Quinn is gone. The charity is gone. It's just them.
The source describes a heavy makeout session on the floor of the hallway. It's messy, it's public, but it's real. It's not a performance.
And Rachel takes charge immediately after. She stands up, adjusts herself, and announces the booth is closed.
The decommissioning! I love that! She shuts it down, no one else gets a turn, she paid her dollar and bought the whole company.
And the verbal reconciliation that follows is surprisingly tender for them. Finn claims victory, told you couldn't handle it, but then the bravado drops. They admit they still love each other, and Finn says, more than ever.
But of course they get caught. This is McKinley High. Principal Figgins finds them. Love shack in the corridor.
The punishment is detention with Sue Sylvester, cleaning up glitter and slushy goo in the auditorium, which, in a way, is a perfect metaphor for their relationship.
Cleaning up their own mess, which leads us to the aftermath. And this is where the psychological analysis really needs to dig in, because they end up in the equipment room.
Right. After Sue leaves, Finn takes Rachel to the equipment room, and he reveals something very specific. He tells her that seeing her in the football gear turned him on. He wants to recreate it.
That is a fascinating callback. Think about it. Earlier in the week, he was terrified of her in that gear. He thought it meant she would get hurt. It was a source of anxiety. Now it's a source of desire.
It's a reclamation of trauma. They are taking the thing that caused the stress, the danger of the football game, and sexualizing it. They are turning the fear into intimacy. It is a very Finchel way to solve a problem.
They need the drama.
They need the high stakes to feel the high passion. Normalcy doesn't work for them. They need the heightened reality of a life-or-death football game to find their way back to each other.
And finally, we have to close the loop with Puck the next day in the weight room. It's the final piece of the puzzle.
It's a really subtle, well-done moment. Puck sees glitter on Finn's shoes. He knows exactly what that implies. Glitter is the evidence. It's the residue of their reconciliation.
And he asks, "Was it as hot as I dreamed?" And Finn replies, "Hotter."
And they share a fist bump. It's the restoration of the bros truce. The hierarchy is reset. Finn has the girl, the championship, and the respect. Puck has accepted his place. The chaos of the week has resolved into a new order. The pack is stable again.
It is a wild ride. From a choir room brawl fueled by humiliation to a glitter-covered reconciliation fueled by a dollar and a dare.
It highlights a key insight about these two. For Finn and Rachel, conflict often acts as a prelude to intimacy. They needed the brawl, the locker room fight, and the football crisis to strip away all the lies they had been telling themselves and each other.
They had to break it all down to build it back up.
Precisely. They can't do normal. They need the operatic drama to function. The quiet moments are where the insecurity creeps in. The chaos is where they thrive.
All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I got to where I am. But these stories don't was made for you. I climbed across the mountain tops, swam all across the ocean blue. I crossed all the lines and I broke all the rules, but baby, I broke them all for you. Oh, because even when I was flat broke, you made me feel like $1,000,000. You do, and I was made for you. You see the smile that's on my mouth, it's hiding the words that don't come out. And all of our friends who think that I'm blessed, they don't know my head is a mess. No, they don't know who I really am, and they don't know what I've been through like you do. And I was made for you. All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything if you've got no one to tell them to. It's true that I was made for you. Oh yeah, well it's true that I was made for you.